Hey guys, just a quick video for you guys about the potential grade for this card. I'm gonna send this card in for grading for Beckett, and I was like doing my research and I realized that the back of the card is actually there's a lot more um, room to um, be off-centered than the front. Actually, the back of the card, I guess, tends to not be centered often, and because of that, there's like a lot more room for potential like grades, even if the back of the card isn't as good. So really, the centering on the front is a lot more important than the centering on the back. So like, here's an example of a card that has like 75-25% on the reverse. So 90-10 is pretty extreme. So like the back of the card almost has the centering on the back of the card almost has like no, unless it's like completely off, that'll drop the grade to a 9, like a 90-10. But other than that, the back of the card won't really stop it from getting PSA 10. Um, the front of the card, for example, although like um, there might be certain things about the front of the card that needs to be thought about. Like for example, one of the things is that like there could be like a slight angle um, that like for example um, if this is like completely level, like there's like a slight angle of which like it's been cut like so. So it hasn't like been printed completely straight like this card in particular. So like even if it's kind of like within the centering percentage of the front for PSA 10, like this might have like a potential being like a 10 on the front and the back. There is like a slight like angle of which it's been cut. You can see here. Um, see how like there's like a space, so it's not like it hasn't been cut completely. Um, it's not completely straight, but as you can see, like for example here, um, it doesn't it's not completely straight, but it might. Let's see. So, um, like there's like a few things to think about besides the centering. Like one of the biggest things is gonna be like the edges, but if this card wasn't really like put into binders and like put into card sleeves, the edges won't have any kind of damage really, unless they were moved a lot in pack. So like really what is gonna be after like you take this card and you're like, oh, like this, the centering of this card is really good, so it could potentially, I'm just basing this off like of the centering alone, the centering might get a 10, like for example, right? The centering might get a 10, and then like the edges might get a 10. Okay, but then like another thing is like the corners here, like the way that they are like cut, because like these are just like a two corner radius. So like for example this one, um, I mean I would say the corners are pretty okay on this one. You could say like the corners are good on this, but there could be like room for it to be like, it might be like a 9 or like a 9.5, like corners. and then like the surface is like the next question. It's like because um one of the things is that like these cards could actually be damaged, so like it's really hard to see. Like there could be like tiny little scratches or like tiny little like places where it's been like pressed or indents or like tiny little nicks on the surface of the card that you might not potentially see. So like the only way to like really see this is like using like a microscope to like really go in and see like the detail under a microscope to look at the surface and like the surface um, because like even if it came straight out of a pack, like the surface could be kind of like damaged or pressed or like nicked. So like you guys might see like, oh, well, this um let's see, what is that? Um let's see. Is it, so let's just say like I would say like maybe nine, so like a 9.5, right? Like you can like I would say like this card, if like it's gonna be like you know um if like the surface is like a 9, for example, or it could it could be a 10, we don't know, but like the only way we're gonna be sure is to like really look closely at it. um so like I would say like this card, I do plan to send this card into Beckett because the front centering is pretty good. So like the centering probably on the front and the back are like closer to 9 or 10. But like there's just so much about this card I'm not that sure about. Like for example, the surface. Um, so like there's a lot of like uncertainty, especially like the corners as well. Like you can look at the corner or the edges with the microscope, and then you'll be able to see like if there are any like things on the edges of the card that kind of shows that there's like damage on the edges of the card that you can't really see. Like it might take a minute to like really be able to see like any kind of wear or damage on the edges of the card. But I'm gonna send this card into for grading, and potentially I do think that this card has the potential to possibly get a 10, but I really think it's more likely that I'll most likely get a 9. So I'll still send it in, and we'll see if that's correct or not. Just thought I would make this quick video for you guys. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.